Okay, so what do you think about this? There's my piece.
I don't think it's about free speech. I'm sorry to tell you this, Bill, and I'll tell you why. Very simple. These same students that signed those petitions actually invited you for a debate, and they said they are welcome, so they can have a conversation, they can ask you a question. If they don't like your views on television, they can switch channel. But the commencement speech, it's a platform, actually, that doesn't give the opportunity for questions, that doesn't give an opportunity for pushback, or even for a debate. It's a monologue, it's not a dialogue. These students, same students, feel offended that your views of Islam, the generalization, and they said it clearly in their declaration, they said the generalization perpetuate bigotry. This is what they said. Look, I am all for freedom for speech. I love debates. I hate monologues. When you invite somebody to a commencement speech, you said it, it's about the students. And the New York Times in this piece this morning said, you can counter a bad speech with a good speech, except they don't have that venue. They don't have that opportunity that day of graduation. They can't opt out of that. And
I'm not going to be speaking about that subject, as I just said.
But does that mean we never have speeches? Every speech has to be two people?
But this is a commencement speech. This is a commencement address of these students who are actually... Listen, would you accept an openly anti-Semitic person to give a commencement speech to a Jewish student? I actually would not accept that.
As I just said, even Reza Aslan says I'm not a bigot, so I rather resent the idea that I'm comparable to an anti-Semite. All I've ever done was basically read facts.
What facts did you read?
Well,
you never invited.
But
listen, you are comparing... I am sorry, Bill.
Bill, I don't think we want to read...
You are comparing jihadists, Salafists, Sunni. You don't know the difference. You're comparing all Muslims in one pot.
You're a Palestinian.
And I am actually a secular Muslim. And when you talk about Islam in a certain way, I have to tell you, and it's offensive sometimes, some people feel
But
threatened.
it's okay to be offensive. That's what free speech is all about. If free speech is only speech you like, it's not free speech.
They invited him for a debate. He can go to a debate. I will accompany you in that debate if you want. I'm happy to have that debate wherever you want.
He was invited to be a commencement speaker, and then he made a statement that people didn't like.
I don't know what to say. I can understand.
Can you be gay in Gaza?
Yes, you can.
Really?
Yes, you can.
And live?
Absolutely, you can. You know what? It's even more offensive because you're saying...
I'm just asking because I've heard
you can be gays in Gaza.
Really?
I traveled the Middle East.
Is there a gay bar in Gaza?
This is what I do for a living. You're comparing the majority of Muslim states with Saudi Arabia or with
Should I call Affleck and get him back here so we can...
You don't have to.
The issue,
do you want to listen or you want...
Muslim. I think it's about whether someone can be invited to give a speech and people will listen. Maybe they'll agree with it, maybe they won't. But we don't have a situation in Berkeley where people can't give a speech. I mean, that's the whole essence of the American system is people can give a speech. Not everybody has to agree with everything everybody says.
The Muslim community in this country, you are treating them like a fifth columnist, and they are not. And guess what?
No, I am not.
And then guess what? If these people are, the Muslim community feel threatened and feel offended, and they are underrepresented in the media and underrepresented in political avenues. You never invite them here on these issues.
Never invite them here. You're here. Reza here's here. They're here all the time.
On these issues.
What do you mean on these issues?
I mean,
I'm the one who says I want to stop talking about this. I can't because things happen in the news.
Reza was invited to talk about something else. It was August 1st.
Well, Reza's been here a lot.
And I'm happy that he's been here, and I've been here, and I'm so happy to be invited here. However, if you want to have a serious conversation about Islam, and I'm sorry to tell you this, Bill.
Every time I say something you don't like, it's not a serious conversation, or I'm a bigot. I'm sorry. In your world, either I'd say exactly what you want me to say, or else I'm a bigot. And that just doesn't work for me.
You don't have to say what I want, because what I want is not a war on Islam. I want to win the war on terror. Well, you are repeating the same things that actual Al-Qaeda is saying. The same thing. You are actually doing the work for them. Zawahiri used to say, and Bin Laden used to say, This is not a war on terror. This is a war on Islam. My father was Muslim. He was Sufi. You don't even know the difference between Sufi, Sunni, Shafi'i, Sunni, Hanbali. You don't.
Well,
for you, we are all jihadists.
I know that in many places in the world, if you left your religion, what would happen?
Guess what? Let me tell you something.
It would be okay. You could walk inside a door in Gaza and say, you know what? I'm a Presbyterian today.
Maybe not in Gaza, to be honest, but you can do it in Jordan, you can do it in Lebanon. The majority of, you are blaming the majority for the criminal acts of a minority. Unfortunately, the majority are disorganized, and there's a small minority that are well organized, and they're controlling the narrative.
I have to move on.
I'm happy that you move on, but I'm telling you, there's some people that lose. If you would have said some of the things that you would have said about African Americans and about Jews, you would be fired.
But African Americans and Jews don't belong to a religion that wanted to kill Salman Rushdie for writing a book, if we want to get back to the free speech issue. So I'm sorry, that's called false equivalency.
Okay.
Not all religions are alike. I have to move on. I'm so sorry, but
then it's not a debate, Bill. I'm sorry. If you want to explore this, I'm happy to explore it with you after, in any avenue.
Okay.
But however, you have to understand that you are representing the whole group as one. You are actually viewing Islam like jihadists, the same way they view Islam.
I disagree.
In a literalist way.
We disagree.
Good. We can agree to disagree.
We agree to disagree.
Perfect.